Sup, my name is Ryu for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Welcome to your Saturday, Sunday video. I'm not sure which day it's going up. Probably Sunday. Pack versus Pack, October 2015. It's here. Woo! Let's get that Ric Flair wooing. So anyway, this is going to work like card versus card. We posted that about 2 weeks ago from today. So if you have yet to see that, you could check it out. But this works in the same general kind of way, except that we're reversing packs, not cards. We will talk about the highlights of the packs, but so you guys understand exactly where I'm coming from with this is how it's going to work. We're going to look at the pack when it was first released, not reprints, not the game changing and evolving. We're just going to look at when they were first released, their power at release, the demand at release, because it wouldn't be fair any other way due to power creeping and due to other cards being better than other cards. So we're going to look at them from their peak of when they first were released. Now, if you're worried that I don't know exactly what I'm talking about, I've played this game since the beginning. I've stayed always in touch with it, and I've always known since the original Legend of Blue Eyes, since the original packs in Japan, I've known this game through and through. So don't worry, everything's gonna be great. Let's do this. So, one last thing before we go any further, because I'm gonna forget. Pack versus Pack is once a month. You guys can request a future Pack versus Pack in the comments below for November and December. You have 3 weeks to get your Pack versus Pack in for November, and then you'll have 3 weeks after November one launches for December. And if it doesn't make the cut for December, it'll be for January. Because in December, we have Christmas season. And Christmas season's a motherfucker. Just saying. So, let's go straight into this Pack versus Pack. Duelist Revolution versus Duelist Alliance. Both of these packs were revolutionary at their peak. Duelist Alliance gave us the Duelist Alliance effect, and Duelist Revolution said, "Ooh, this is how packs should be all the fucking time." When you went and bought a box of Duelist Revolution, we're going to talk about Duelist Revolution first. When you went and bought a box, you got your money's worth 90% of the time. When you went and bought Duelist Alliance, it was pretty much the same thing. Both of these sets have set the foundation of how packs should be, how rarity should be. It's okay to have some janky hollows, but at the core of it, you want to pull out really good stuff that's sought out after, and special editions, or whether it be their reprints, which I know we weren't talking about the reprints, always were sought out after, immediately after, they were launched out. So let's start with the Duelist Revolution. Solemn Warning, Scrap Dragon, Effect Filler, Duality, Street Patrol, Naturia Pineapple, Chivalry, Horn of the Phantom Beast, Dragonite Quest, and Wiseman's Chalice. These are 10 cards from this set that basically, to me, define this set at what its peak was. Solemn Warning, I think we all know Solemn Warning. It's pretty much the I negate any summon, and I only have to pay 2,000 life points. It pretty much got Solemn Judgment put on the ban list for the TCG, and it got itself put down to 1. Scrap Dragon, we all know the power of Scrap Dragon, pot 1. You gotta love it because all the things you could chain with it, all the things you can abuse with Scrap Dragon. And when it first came out, it was very underhyped, and then right after launch, it just went through the roof. Effect Feller. How many of us love Effect Feller? Raise his hand. We all use Effect Feller in a good chunk of decks. Maybe not. Maybe we cycle it in and out depending on the format. But ever since its launch, it's always found its way somewhere in our decks or some kind of form of it. So Effect Feller is something I wanted to mention. Duality. Giving consistency to every single deck possible. At its peak was a very expensive card. But at its peak, it still lingers just a little bit with certain decks, because it gives it that extra consistency to decks that don't really need to special summon. And the big one, in all seriousness, is that freaking anti-meta being able to have that extra bit of consistency and not have to worry about their draws, and they can just search out what they need. This gives them exactly what they needed. Sigillant Street Patrol, giving Infernities another tool to play, being able to loop even further and do even crazier shit than they were able to do originally by getting free extra special summons, which would trigger Archfiend. So if you've never played Infernities and you want me to mention something else that's not Infernities, cool. Fabled. To an extent, Fabled, but there's not really too much outside of that Street Patrol has found its way in. Naturia Pineapple, the definition of overhyped is Naturia Pineapple. Because on its first initial release, it was going to be Naturia Dad or Naturia Shoot or Bamboo Shoot deck. And honestly, after like 2 weeks and deck not doing anything at Show and Jump / YCS, because back then it was called Show and Jump, it just flopped and no one wanted to have a part of Naturia Pineapple anymore. It wasn't as sought out after. Chivalry, great side deck card. Not too much to say about that because there's really not much to talk about it. And Horn of the Phantom Beast, giving Tengu just more power, giving Beast Warriors everywhere 800 attack, and being able to draw and speeding up your deck. It's a little bit slow by nowadays, but when it was released, woo, it was a fun card to use. Dragon Knight of Quest, super polymerization on release, being able to suck up that Scrap Dragon, that Stardust Dragon, and fusing it with your warrior and getting a 32,800 beat stick in return was just too fucking good to pass up. And if you've never gotten to do that, I'm sorry, it sucks. I wish you were able to. Wiseman Chalice, pretty much don't need to go 100% into it. It's part of the Wiseman. It's an okay card. It's not the greatest, so that's all I'm really going to say about it. But those are the 10 cards when I look at Duelist Revolution that come right off the pages, into my mind and just go, this is what made Duelist Revolution great. Now, there were some other, stuff like the unicorns and the possums that came in the set, but they weren't as important as everything else that I mentioned, at least for me. Now let's shift gears and go over to Duelist Alliance. So Duelist Alliance has Shaddoll Winda, Contract, Deneb, Odd Eyes, Dante, Castel, Shaddoll Fusion, Felice, Boxia, and UA. You can pick whatever UA you like. So this set gave us UAs, gave us a new Lightsworn, gave us Shaddolls, gave us Yang Zing, gave us Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, gave us Burning Abyss, gave us the Teller Knights. I think that says it all. That's 7 different things it gave us right off the bat. And giving us Castel as a rank 4 was just so good, because being able to utilize Castel and just rip out the 101s and put the Castels in, because the Castel is 10 times more flexible than 101, even though 101 is still pretty decent. Castel, saw it out after for so long, just finally getting its reprint. Shaddolls. I don't even need to go into how good they are. You guys already know. Coming out of the set, you buy a box, you pull a Shaddoll, that's 30 freaking bucks. Except for Construct, like you pull Window, it's like 30 freaking bucks. Deneb, do I really even need to go into a World Championship deck? Was able to do jack until, we got to like this point at Worlds where they actually had a good playing field. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, not really making waves on first launch, just very overhyped, but now starting to, because of the Magician Pendulum deck that will be able to utilize it, or its own Odd Eyes deck that will be able to make fusions off of it. Dante, making Burning Abyss everywhere, such a good thing. Only 4 cards in the set. 8 define Burning Abyss as a threat. Right off the bat as a threat. Castel, best rank 4 pretty much in the game next to Exciton Knight, and I would probably say Cowboy. Or I guess Morel, he's also really good. But Castel is one of the best rank 4s that you can have, so had to mention him. Shaddoll Fusion, because it's with the Shaddoll stuff, it's just so good. We could talk about all the Yang Zings, but Boxia is pretty much the one I always like to talk about first, because it's just how stupid its effect is and can be. Felice, being able to tribute a special summon wolf. Only downside is it has to be milled off by a monster. Obviously, we got Raiden for that. And went from there. And then the UA is great budget deck that obviously doesn't get 100% love, but should. So, both of these sets did something right. Duelist Alliance became an evolution of what Duelist Revolution set the ground for. Duelist Revolution came in, laid the groundwork down, said this is how packs should be. You should be able to get good stuff out of your boxes. You should be able to go in and get your money's worth. And I think we're going to see that again with Breakers of the Shadow, and that's pretty much a summary I'm probably going to tell you right now to invest in if you want to invest money. And when it came to Duelist Alliance, we got that again. We got the power creep, we got the increase in power, and everyone wanted to complain about it, but let's be honest, buying a box is still good. for that. Well, during its time. Honestly, the set is in balance in terms of how fast it, raised the bar of meta decks and everything. I will say that much, but I'm just gonna let it slide for this video. So we have to choose a winner based on which one of these sets is the better of the two sets. At its core, Duelist Revolution is an amazing set, and at its core, Duelist Alliance gave archetypes everywhere something to thrive for, something to wish that they had as much good support as everything from the set just gave. I mean, look at this set. It gave us, Duelist Alliance. As I was saying, Duelist Alliance gave us new fusion deck. It gave us a pendulum to play around with that wasn't 100% all that great. It gave us a great rank 3. And it gave us a great synchro deck. That's quite a bit. Duelist Revolution gave us better single generic cards than Duelist Alliance. So there's that, but it's only pretty much the first 4 I mentioned are generic. Everything else wasn't really generic outside of Chivalry, which is a great side deck card, but that's about it. So who gets the win here? So, Duelist Alliance is set balance in want and good cards, where, you can basically have good trade bait. It allowed the set as an improved version of Duelist Revolution. To be fair, that's pretty much what it was, and it's how packs should be. Maybe not in the power creep, but in terms of pulling stuff, yeah, Konami did good with this one. So, based on that fact, based on what was printed in, based on just in generalization, a good set, Duelist Alliance gets the win for this pack versus pack. Hopefully you guys enjoy this kind of content. If you do, you let me know. And there's a link to the other channels we do, the Council Network, the Pokemon Council, and the Gaming Council. Finally got that bitch up on Wednesday. So anyway, I'm Ryu for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. If you enjoy our content, make sure to stick around by slapping that subscribe button and checking out our other channels because we do all sorts of content. I'm a madman when it comes to it. And finally, if you have a pack versus pack for the future, make sure to slap it down in the comments below. If there's a deck you would like to see me play, slap it down below because when this video goes up, I'll be working on new decks for you guys, just saying. So make sure to get them in now. I'm ready for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Make sure to check the videos in the annotation boxes that you're seeing on your screen. And if you're a mobile user, I'll put the links down for you. Shh, I got you. I'll see you guys.